The next clip was found on Reddit and sent to me by Paul. He stumbled over it while browsing the paranormal section, and following video caught his interest. User I will stay Anon, thanks, has shared this footage a few days ago after capturing something unusual in an old church. Apparently the user was very interested in urban exploring, and the night in question, his destination of choice was the following 125-year-old abandoned church, and apparently is still in incredible shape, with its intact glass windows and the red velvet church pews. However, urban decay is slowly taking over this wonderful place. And it is said that, for whatever reason, the creepy basement, which is dark as night, is apparently haunted. Our explorer basically just was out to hunt for some exciting shots that night, and of course was hoping for some thrills. In the end, he might have gotten more than he was hoping for though. In his own words, he tells us, "I don't know what I have captured that night. It was all normal at first, while I was exploring the empty rooms, until a point when the following happened." The door is opening by itself. Very scary indeed. However, there also seemed to be a crouched object that can be seen through the glass, possibly the reason for the door opening. But what was it? If we believe our explorer, the place was empty, and he made sure that nobody else was there at the time. Of course, you never have proof for that. Was it maybe a homeless person that is living in there? Or was this a paranormal encounter? The first series of videos were recorded by a user called FrostmareTV Music. He has shared the following clip, which was recorded by his son. Apparently the young man woke up to one of his electronics, which turned on all by itself. It was hard to see, but there appeared to be something really creepy on it. Does this appear like a face to you? Some say this is the case. But other stuff kept happening in their house. Around 3 AM, FrostmareTV woke up to some really inexplicable noises from the bathroom. He recorded the incident, and this is what he saw. We can see that a cloaked figure is walking by, very fast in the bathroom. Unfortunately, he did not go in and turn the light on to figure out what was going on. But what do you think happened here? Is this house haunted, or is this just a prank? The following videos were documented and posted by Sean Lamson, who states that several of his friends believe that one of his rooms, an empty bedroom to be exact, which is situated on the upper floor of his house, inherits some evil entity. At least this room managed to scare several of his friends out of this house. One of his friends had his kids over every now and then, and they apparently were terrified to ever step foot in this particular room ever again. The little one, a 3-year-old boy, even states that he saw monsters coming out of the little door in the wall that leads into a little storage space. The father of the kids himself even states that he as well saw a huge shadow entity in this room. Weirdly enough, the owner Sean, however, who's living in this house for several years, never came across anything strange. This all should change really soon though, because Sean was about to move out of this old house. Unfortunately, the building was about to get demolished. Sean and a friend were gathering some of the last boxes that night, when all of a sudden, some really strange noises could be heard from the upstairs. This was when Sean started recording.
Oh my god. Did you leave that light on? That one? Yeah. Is it coming from the back room? Yeah. Oh my god. I'm gonna try to step this. What the? Jesus Christ!
Something seemed to be running at them, and the two decided to make it out of there as fast as they could. His friend seemed to slip, however, and fell to the ground. Luckily, she wasn't hurt that night. On one of the following nights, he had some more of his friends with him, and they wanted to take a look at the upper floor one last time, and whilst they were slowly walking upstairs, there was a demonic noise captured that went unnoticed at the time.
Hold on.
So you went in that room? I don't want to be lost.
Then come. Hold on.
So you went in that room?
Could it be that an evil entity was recorded here, possibly being angry about the upcoming demolition of the place? His friends swore that none of them heard anything weird at the time, and that it wasn't them making that noise. What do you think? The next video was uploaded by user SnyderFlores2. He was out one night with his daughter, outside the village close to a town in Ecuador. They were on their way back home and passing through a rural park, and nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary at first. However, after a few seconds this changed. The father of the little girl noticed something behind her.
Y por ahí viene la mujer más hermosa de todo este planeta. Enojada. Y enojada. Oh, May. Algo se corrió detrás de ti. Devuélvete para atrás a ver qué es lo que fue. Yo te sigo. Por aquí se movió algo. Por aquí, por este árbol. Mueve las ramas. No hay nada, ¿no? Por aquí se movió, pero. Ven, vamos a buscarlo más acá. Por aquí.
It was a weird encounter indeed. Take a close look, as there seems to be a little kid behind his daughter in the bushes. It runs towards the right and is not seen or heard of after ever again. Strange. Was the kid maybe waiting behind the pole here, creating the strange effect? What's also odd is the swing at the end of the video. Look at it. Something must have used it just moments before. Was it maybe a paranormal incident? Other viewers suspect that the shadow person in the background might have something to do with it even. Can we confirm that? Of course not. But who knows? Maybe there was something mysterious going on. How creepy. The next video was posted by Zealous Ideal. It was captured by a baby camera, and the family believes that something really strange is going on in their house. The user states, "Raise the volume up, you will hear something saying, 'Help me.' I would totally believe this was just somebody hacking my Arlo, but the other events that have happened in my mom's house with my daughter and myself are just too unexplainable. We've had another incident with her nanny cam and seeing a black shadow near her, an orb, and her suddenly waking up and screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of somebody watching me, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, and missing items that suddenly return. This has been recurring since I was pregnant with my little one. I hope moving to another home will help." So, what do you think happened here? A recording of a spirit? Or did somebody else get access to their Arlo security system? This video stems from Diane, the Canning Nana, and she shared it with the internet because apparently she caught something really terrifying one night. In general, she posts videos about cooking and traveling. She starts explaining in her description. So, totally unrelated to any content I have ever done. We found this today on our living room camera at 2 AM in the morning. Very clearly a woman. Even Noah, our cat, saw her. You can see his eyes near the end of the video. I'm sensitive to feeling spirits of family members. I've been saying for months I feel a spirit here I do not recognize. You tell me what you all think. To us it looks like an older woman with long hair. Whatever is roaming through the living room seems to be a pretty small statue. Do you see the shape of a lady? Whatever it might be, if it's not a member of the family, it must have been a terrifying discovery. Now we want to follow a ghost hunter named Code. He traveled to an abandoned building, which apparently is said to house strange shadow entities. It was recently abandoned by a family, since they could never get rid of these strange hauntings. Code made it up on himself to figure out if these legends about these unusual events were true. Let's take a look.
Oxe, tá travado aqui hoje?
Our friend seems to be a bit unconventional. It's not a common sight to have a so-called ghost hunter walking around with a piece, but probably it was for protection against other people, right? After opening a window, stuff now seemed to come down onto the man.
Opa! Tem gente aí, galera? Tem gente aí? Tô armado, hein? Cara, que sinistro. É você, mulher preto? Nossa, que é isso, velho?
What appears to be a dark shadow seems to be seen more and more in this house. And only a few moments after that, it even seems to manifest. Some people believe that, at least. In the end, the man decided to make it out of there straight after, since he was pretty freaked out. I think that is understandable. Now we are looking at a recording from user Double Barrel Daryl, who has shared this short clip on Reddit since he and his sister were a little bit freaked out when they saw something a bit odd one night. To be honest, it scared them even, and they hoped that people on the internet could help them figuring out what transpired that night. Daryl tells us that he was driving around with his sister that night. It was pretty late already, and they were technically on the way back home. On the way there, they were driving by one particular old house. They saw a transparent and flickering object on the roof, and it looked like it had legs which were dangling off the edge. They drove by a second time to film it. This is what they could capture. The recording is not the best, and while we see a blurry shape up there, it's basically impossible to say what exactly it's supposed to be. The comments range from it simply being a bat to a real person, or as the two suspected, even an apparition. Can you agree with that? Another user said that it probably is just some old Christmas decoration, but they drove by the next morning to show that this is not the case. So, a paranormal capture or something completely different? Now we want to follow ghost hunter Hassan Barbar into yet another abandoned building, which apparently needs to be cleansed off of an evil jinn. Shortly after his arrival, it didn't take long till the activity picked up, and our brave ghost hunter started recording.
انت هون؟ اسمع. طب وينك؟ طب انت وين؟ بدي اياك تتشكل. هون هي الدخان شايفينه؟ هاي الدخان. طب وين رحت انت؟ بسم الله. طب وينك؟ وين رحت؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هيو.
Hassan runs towards the shadow, but it appears to be gone.
بسم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. دخان. مش قادر. كان في شو هنا. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. لا 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 لا.
Many more strange noises were heard that night. However, the shadow was never seen again. At least not the same night. As always, check the whole investigation on his channel.
استغربت الآن يا اخوان. أنا هذيك المرة كرست مالي هذا طلع لي إشي من